By the time I woke up the next morning, I'd managed to hide the worst of my dark circles. Beside me, the man who had kept me up all night looked entirely unaffected. His suit was crisp, his composure unshakable, his air of detached elegance entirely intact. To the rest of the world, he was still the refined, ice-cold Mr. Evans. It was as if yesterday's drama hadn't left a single mark on him. Not that it was a big deal anyway. I tilted my head, catching my own resentful expression in the airplane window. Behind me, the flight attendant was looking just as polished. This was the third time she'd come by to offer coffee, her voice syrupy sweet, her eyes lingering on Lucian with thinly veiled adoration. TSK. He couldn't stop the flow of love letters back in high school, and he was still out here acting like a magnet for unwanted attention. A surge of irritation pricked at me. I shoved my sleep mask over my eyes and pulled the shade down. "We don't need anything," Lucian said, his voice dropping into that low, chilly register he used when he was shutting someone down. "Could you just bring over an extra blanket? Thanks." A moment later, I felt a weight settle over me. Lucian had handed his own blanket to me. The flight attendant looked mortified. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you and your girlfriend." Lucian leaned back into his seat without a word. I waited a beat before pulling off my mask, leaning in to whisper, "Mr. Evans, if you're going to drag me into your little charades outside of office hours, I'm going to need overtime pay." Was he really getting that comfortable using me as a human shield? Lucian glanced at me, his eyelids drooping lazily. "Didn't you say you wanted to repay me? Or are you worried about what people might think?" Damn, I couldn't argue with that. I pulled the blanket tighter and grumbled, "You're such a pain." Back home, we headed to the pet shop to pick up Luna and Mochi. The owner claimed the two had been getting along famously, and the facts backed it up. Luna was actually licking Mochi's fur. The little stray seemed to be spending more and more time at Lucian's place. "It's classic empty nest syndrome," I sighed, shaking my head. "They grow up, move out, and suddenly you're yesterday's news." Madeline blinked, a smirk playing on her lips. "You're the one hitting the bar in the middle of the night, trying to have a good time. You aren't exactly setting a great example for her, are you?" "Don't talk nonsense." I downed my drink, a spike of indignation hitting me. "You don't know the half of it. She's become absolutely obsessed with Lucian." Madeline thought for a long moment, then offered a piece of constructive advice. "Then, why don't you just steal him away? Make her suffer. Make her cry. What was I thinking when I chose you as my best friend?" Seeing the look on my face, Madeline scrambled to fix it. "Hey, don't dwell on the unhappy stuff. Look over there, a group of guys. They're super hot." I squinted for a long time, then covered my eyes. Damn it, total eyesores. Madeline stared at me, looking utterly bewildered. "Lottie Wells, are you even functional? It's one thing to be oblivious for years, but now you've lost the ability to even appreciate a handsome face?" "I'm not blind." I groaned in agony. "Looking at them just makes me want to go home." The words were out before I could stop them. I clamped my mouth shut. Madeline went silent, just staring at me. My heart hammered against my ribs, erratic and panicked. Why had I said that? Why? Madeline let out a long, heavy sigh. "Lottie, you're toast." I felt my heart skip a beat, a mix of anticipation and pure terror. "You spend every day staring at a guy with movie star looks like your boss," she continued. "Your standards are never coming down. What are you going to do when you can't find a guy who measures up?" I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding, but the relief felt hollow. Attorney Wells? I never imagined I'd run into Matthias Franklin in a place like this. Oh, right, that was supposed to be his line. I gave him a few distracted, dismissive answers, but Matthias was relentless. Just as I was hitting my limit, my phone rang. I answered without looking a choice I immediately regretted. "Still not home this late?" Lucian's voice vibrated through the receiver, startlingly clear against the noisy backdrop of the bar. "Luna is looking for you." "Where are you?" Guilt washed over me. "I'm just finishing up something. I'll be back soon." "Attorney Wells, it's not safe to head back alone," Matthias said, speaking up. "Should I drop you off?" As soon as Matthias spoke, the other end of the line went dead silent. A moment later, Lucian's cool, calm voice returned. "Send your location." I hung up in despair. The thought of facing Luna's judgmental gaze when I got home made me feel Matthias still wouldn't leave, insisting on waiting with me until my friend arrived. I downed another glass to build up some courage. No sooner had I finished than a pair of long legs stepped into my line of sight. "Mr. Evans?" Madeline stood up, looking nervous. "Mr. Evans?" Matthias looked genuinely stunned, his gaze flicking back and forth between us. "I didn't realize your firm provided such attentive service to your subordinates." "Lottie." Lucian called my name. I scrambled to get up, my legs clumsy. "I'm here." I stood too quickly and nearly tripped, but he caught me, his hand firm on my arm. "It's after hours," Lucian said, ignoring me and shifting his gaze to Matthias. "I don't have time to waste." Matthias was left speechless. Lucian finally looked at me. "Are we going home?" My last shred of self-preservation made me nod immediately. As I followed in Lucian's wake, walking toward the exit, I caught a glimpse of Madeline silently praying and Matthias looking utterly shocked. I wasn't paying attention and walked right into his back when he stopped suddenly. He turned around, the cool night breeze blowing past us, carrying the scent of alcohol. I clutched my stinging nose, meeting his deep, dark eyes. Suddenly, the wine-induced haze vanished. "Oh no. Lottie Wells, it looks like you've fallen for him."